Hey everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, ladies and lurkers, welcome. So today's feminine school video will be about the often under the radar fraudulent archetype, who is better known as the entrepreneurial dusty. Now, the entrepreneurial dusty, simply put, is a wannabe entrepreneur and a poser who uses the seduction tactics of lies and deception and making a great first impression to impress unsuspecting women who are looking for serious partnership and for women who are looking for quality husbands. So the entrepreneurial Dusty uses the allure of being successful or building together in business, or he seduces and flatters women with the intrigue of having a business mind to elevate himself as the picture of success. Because most men are keenly aware of the fact that women are wired to find success as attractive. So the entrepreneurial Dusty's goal is to mimic success by any means necessary and as a means to an end to sell himself as a high value man. And we all have met the entrepreneurial Dusty at least once or twice in our lives because they are typically big talkers and or confidence men who talk or lead with a big game, but they never ever truly deliver on their profit lines or their profit margins in a way that will make them respected providers, which is what running a business is all about. And the concept of fake entrepreneurship or of people using their representative to impress others is nothing new, but it has become very trendy to say that you run and own and operate your own businesses, even when a person clearly has no idea about the amount of hard work and grit and endurance and sacrifice and dedication and late nights and discipline and having a team and the consistency that is required to truly become successful, and not only successful at entrepreneurship, but successful at entrepreneurial growth. The facts are, and some of you may be triggered to hear this, is that not everyone is built or wired for entrepreneurship, as entrepreneurship is not for the thin-skinned or for those who lack patience and endurance or for people who are inconsistent. Because in order for entrepreneurship to flourish and to be highly profitable, it will require an inordinate amount of dedication to turn your profit line from red to black. Now, the temptation and the expectation for men to call themselves businessmen is now more higher than it's ever been, due to the easy access that comes with having an internet connection. And as long as a man is online, he does have a shot at making fetch happen. However, entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart because it involves a lot of competition and having to deal with a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing. And it will often take years and years and years of sacrifice and building and commitment to be successful, as successful entrepreneurship comes with a lot of ups and downs and peaks and valleys, and your communication and sales skills have to be exceptional and your integrity has to be A1. So the entrepreneurial Dusty is often an immature man who wears the facade of being a business owner, but he is really a wannabe and a poser who uses the optics of pretend success to flatter and impress women and men and his community at large. Now, the reason why so many men become entrepreneurial Dusties is because they want to be viewed in a flattering light of power and respect. And being a fraud can often give a short-term delusional boost to a low-value man's ego. And telling people that you own a business is often a selling point that makes them appear high value. And we are living in a capitalistic society where the idea of running our own businesses has been made to appear to be as easy as putting on a pair of socks when nothing could be further from the truth. And having a business or starting a business in name only is a way for a low value man to give himself or to prop himself up with the title of ownership, which again is a common form of deception when their businesses are typically a front. And more importantly, selling yourself as a successful person is a con man strategy and a duping strategy that many entrepreneurial Dusties use to get their footing in the door with women who are easily flattered and impressed by high value ideas and optics. And with highfalutin ideas, women are often seduced into helping to assist, shape, or to build a man who has promise, or a man who simply needs a little dusting off, or a man who would be a great fixer-upper project. And the next thing you know, a woman has fallen for the deception and for the con of the entrepreneurial promise that comes with getting the bag. So here are the 7 sure shot signs of an entrepreneurial Dusty. Number one, the entrepreneurial Dusty often only owns a business in name only, which are typically the fronts of low-level shell companies and production companies that do not have any cash flow. Number two, an entrepreneurial Dusty will almost always expect his woman to financially contribute or to chip in and to invest into his dumb ideas or his dead end ideas, as she will certainly be convinced and cajoled and guilted into accepting the 50-50 dynamic. Number three, fake entrepreneurs are notorious for bouncing around from idea to idea. As a result, none of their ideas hardly ever come to successful fruition. Fake entrepreneurs are known, they are notorious for starting and ditching businesses only to run to the next best thing and the next best trend when they get bored. Entrepreneurs, however, get an idea and they stick with it because successfully sustained businesses are usually based off of passion and purpose. Number four, fake entrepreneurs are posers who often lack patience, and it takes patience to be successful, but fake posers are almost always impatient, so faking and inflating the image of success to impress others typically happens on social media, where they will often resort to posting images of flashy cars and private jets and stacks of cash and otherwise fantasy trap images that are based on a nothing sandwich. Number five, they often do not know the differences between a fantasy, a dream, and the reality of making it happen. And once again, the entrepreneurial Dusty is typically a dreamer and not an executor. Number six, fake entrepreneurs do not put in sweat equity. Most entrepreneurial Dusties, simply put, do not put in the work. Instead, they often distract themselves with video games, and they are cheating with low-value women who can temporarily stroke their very fragile egos, and they binge watch Netflix and they spend hours a day flexing on the gram, but they are not getting any meaningful work or progress done. And number seven, entrepreneurial Dusties are known for overinflating their profit lines without proof. These are the men who are constantly talking about the millions that they are going to make while their current startup can barely pay its own overhead, and they will never have the full-on ability to provide for a wife and children. So that is all that I have to say on this for now. The entrepreneurial Dusty is as common a Dusty as the Peter Pan Dusty. And let me know if you would like a video on the very common and anti-seductive Peter Pan syndrome. But the entrepreneurial Dusty is simply a guy who doesn't know who he is and is a man who doesn't have a solid footing on understanding the core principles of profit and business, as he is typically a man who lacks focus, determination, and integrity. Now, there is nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong with a man having entrepreneurial dreams. In fact, I encourage it. But a truly successful and high-value man will always have a plan and will never, ever waste his time trying to be a man that he isn't. And a true entrepreneur is a man who will always be more about proof and action and less about the hot air of talk. So stay tuned for more feminine content to come, and I will catch up with you ladies and you lurkers in the next one.